is
Yeah,
cool.
killer. World
This is
champ.
cool. Here we
World
are.
champ.
I was last year. We're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
see who's gonna
Still are.
get that title next. But
No,
yeah,
you
I
are
was.
until you
I
get beat,
was.
bro.
True.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah. I
welcome
was
to
able
the
to
show.
win the Brown Belt World Master tournament. So yeah, I was the world champion last year for the Master One Brown Belt lightweight division of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Hell
I
yeah.
tried to unify. I really wanted to get the Nogi world title too, but I just barely lost, and that's just all
Okay.
it takes sometimes. That's all it takes
Okay.
sometimes. So I
Okay.
did get one of them though, one of two.
So you got the silver in the nogi, right?
Yeah, I got silver. I
Okay.
got double silver. So with jiu-jitsu tournaments for IBJJF, the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation, when you're one of the top three placers in your division, you can enlist into what is called the open class. And the way I explain that sometimes is it's like a you could call it like a champions only brackets where anybody can enter from any weight class. They just have to hit the podium in order to be able to join. So out of all the people that entered the open class, I was also able to secure second place. So I got double silver that day.
How many people entered? Do you know?
I don't remember exactly. I'm gonna guess that in my division there was about 30 people.
Ooh.
And the open class, I would say there's around 20, maybe. I'm not exactly sure.
How
I'm
many
just kind of
people did
guessing.
you roll with in that tournament? About 5 to 6?
Yeah, there was I had four rounds, I think. So there was four legs on the bracket. There were four rounds on the bracket for my division, and then in the open class, I think there was also like three rounds or four rounds. So
So
tough.
I've been to a couple of tournaments myself in the
Mhm.
Naga tournament and different
Oh yeah.
ones down here in the South.
No,
No
Naga's an
gi.
organization.
Yeah,
It stands for North American Grappling Association or something like that.
yeah, I went to
Yeah.
that one in Miami and different things. So I've seen a little bit, how these things go down. That scenario, is it grappling only, no strikes? So
hmm
you have to either win by submission, pinning, something of that particular nature or score.
Yeah. Think like a wrestling tournament. It's just like a wrestling tournament, just like any other bracketed like event. Everybody starts off at the end of the bracket, and we just slowly keep moving in, round after round. And yeah, there was like three or four rounds of competition to get to the finals match.
Let me ask you. Typically at these tournaments, you don't really have much on your opponent as far as like intel or information. I imagine, other than maybe
Not
seeing
true.
them at a previous tournament or
Not
something. Or
true. Not
no?
true.
Actually, it depends. It depends. Some people they go in blind when it comes to these tournaments. But I mean, we live in the future. You can find anything on the internet these days, and there's a like essentially like grappling video like encyclopedia almost type of website where you can. It's called Flow Sports, right? So Flow Sports covers a lot of IBJJF events, and so you can type in a person's name and you can find like the catalog of all the live streamed IBJJF events that they've done in the past. So me, when I prepare for these tournaments, I spend my time watching everybody, like picking up their patterns, getting a sense of what that match is going to look like, where that person's strengths are going to be. I actually in my phone, I have in my notes, I have like a little mini encyclopedia. I just type in a competitor's name, and their whole little profile opens up for me that I've typed, and it gives me like their style. It gives
Whoa,
I
whoa,
can
whoa, whoa, whoa,
yeah,
champ. Whoa, champ.
yeah.
Whoa, we're doing too
They
much
have
out here
the
on the
game
podcast,
plan,
bro.
everything.
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
They don't need all that, bro. Whoa, we're doing
It's all
too
right.
much.
It's all right. We can teach them how to do it. We can teach them how to
Oh
do it.
man.
So
It's better. It's better for the sport. But yeah,
your
you gotta
strategies
be.
obviously is working. It's working
Yeah.
because you're winning, and it sounds to me like you're winning the fight and before you even get into the you still got to put the heart and effort and go in there and be ready that day and composed. But it sounds to me like you're doing your what's the art of war kind of stuff going on where you're your
I,
opponent.
I do my homework for sure. You
Yeah.
have to. You have to. It's just when when you have people that are that high level, it really comes down to who has any little edge. And if my edge is I already know what that person's gonna do, then I'm at a huge advantage. There's less of a like that feel out, moments where I have to kind of feel what they're gonna do, what their everything is like. I eliminate that, and I can just go straight to what I need to do. So it's a huge advantage to do your homework for sure.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
that's right. Yeah. So actually, I started training when I was 16 years old, 16 and a half ish. I was a kid that was like starting to get into a lot of trouble. I was like getting into fights in school, like pretty much
Yes.
like on the brink of getting kicked out. And
Yes.
I grew up in Eugene, Oregon, and being like a rough and tumble kid up there was like fine until like I moved to like Oakland, and then it's like, oh man, you're gonna bark up the wrong tree, and everybody's rough and tumble, so it was like problematic. Then I moved out of Oakland to like another area, the Central Valley, Merced, and that was like same, just not as intense as Oakland. And so I kind of hit this point where I was getting into a lot of trouble, and my parents suggested that I move back to Eugene, Oregon, where it's like mellower and just be there with family while I finish up high school and everything.
Yeah.
And so when I got up to Eugene, I was like just watching TV, and just like any other normal person, I saw something cool on TV, and I was like, oh, maybe I should try that. So I did, and I just like I was watching Chuck Liddell versus Wanderlei Silva. That was the promo. I was watching the promo for that, and I was like, man, these guys are fucking cool. I want to do this. And I'm watching the promo videos, and Wanderlei Silva, he mentioned, oh, I started training when I was 16. And then, I'm like, I'm 16. I could do this.
Oh, shit. Activated.
I could do these guys. So, I looked up where the closest MMA gym was, and the closest MMA gym was in Springfield. And I just like asked my dad if I could sign up, and he was like, yeah, he was all for it. Because I was going into a phase where I was like seeking a lot of challenge. And I was, part of what was getting me into a lot of trouble is when I came to California, I got placed into a lot of ESL classes because my first language is Spanish.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Eugene with a bunch of white kids, so my English was perfect. And I was just like understimulated and just like, had too much energy. But, I went back to Eugene, and I got placed straight into like advanced placement classes and like the International Baccalaureate program. And, my parents were seeing me like just seek out challenge. And I went from like D's and F's in these English second language classes to getting straight A's and B's in like the highest, most challenging classes that high school had to offer.
Right.
So my parents saw me doing this. My dad's like, all right, yeah, if you want to go do some like MMA training, go for it, So I did it, and I just, I loved it. It was hard. I had to ride the bus to the gym when I would train. It was like an hour there, and then an hour and a half on the way back, because the buses that I needed would like, the routes would end. Dang. So I was like really seeking this out, and it was also just me like I had a car, but I would only reward myself by driving to the gym if I went on the weekend. During the weekdays, it was like, this is how I earned this. This is how I I'm gonna let my parents help them like keep me doing this. So that's how I started. I just saw it on TV. I saw Chuck Liddell and Wanderlei Silva, their promo material. I saw one of these. And I was like, oh, I can do this. Yep. I can do this. And I did. It worked out awesome. It was all the challenge that I needed.
That's awesome, bro. In 6 feet of snow, King. He was walking to the bus stop every fucking weekend, bro. 6 feet of snow up to his. Well, he's not even 6 feet. So
what I'm saying though,
anyways, he would have swam in that shit. He would have made it. Is what he's saying.
I just try to put listening to a story, which was definitely interesting, and hearing how you came up and fell in love with the sport. I was also a big fan of Chuck Liddell's, and Wanderlei was beast as always. But definitely, just the thought of what you was talking about, just getting on that bus after a full night of training. I know you was rolling some days. You had to even feel like you was dead. Like, because when you train for jiu-jitsu and different mixed martial arts things, you're doing full body exercise, workout, choking, like literally leaving that place with your blood feeling like it's everywhere but where it should be. And you tell me you get on a bus for an hour and a half, I literally would just fall on that bus and go to sleep. Somebody kick me when I get to my spot. So I give you props. That's the heart of a champion. Sounds like some shit out of a Rocky
I was
movie.
scared of missing my stop, or I would have taken a nap. I would have ended up out nowhere. Like, Mom, Dad, I don't know where I am.
I knew I should never let you signed up. You know, that's all you're gonna hear. You're like, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
It's the heart of a champ right there.
Yeah, that's how I started. That's what it took to do it, and I'm glad I did it that way. I'm glad it wasn't easy. I was like a 130-pound kid, and all the adults were fighting MMA at like welterweight, middleweight, so they were big guys. You know, they're cutting weight to hit welterweight, middleweight, and I'm like 130 pounds, like just trying to keep up with these grown men, and I just like the challenge. I love working hard for things.
You're trying to keep up, and you got to make it back. But when did it like take over? You know what I'm saying? Where you're like, you know what? This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. When did it like take over? Like, I want to coach. I want to fucking win championships. I want to beat that dude's ass and put him in the dirt. When did that happen?
Honestly, I think that from the moment I started, I was like, this is what I'm going to do. Pretty early on as a kid, my dad like had this like conversation with me. It like started off playful, but it was very meaningful, where he pretty much said like, hey, you can do whatever you want when you're an adult. Like, do whatever you want. Just be fully in it, and you gotta like just work hard to like be better than everybody else, and you can do whatever you want. If you're gonna be slacking, if you're not gonna half-ass things, like that's not for you. So from the moment I started, I was like, I'm gonna be like better than everybody else. It's just straight out of the gates. And then I just like, as I grew, I started like building my lifestyle around it.
Oh, dude. You hear that, King? If you stop slacking, okay? If you stop slacking, when you grow up, you can accomplish some shit. Okay?
I'm gonna tell you, I spent a lot of my years doing, Chris, I put a lot of years in the gym we call the trap, smoking